Python assert. Assertions can be implemented in Python. Assertions are statements that assert or state a fact confidently in our program. So for example, while writing a division function, we are confident that the divisor should not be 0. We know that division by 0 is illegal. And we assert divisor is not equal to 0. Assertions are simply Boolean expressions that checks if the condition returns is true or not. So if it is true, the program does nothing and move to the next line of the code. However, if it is false, the program stops and throws an error. So that is the basic principle of assertion. So let me repeat once again for the clarity. Assertions are simply Boolean expressions, so it will return true and false. That checks if the condition returned is true or not. If it is the true, the program does nothing and moves to the next line of the code if the condition is true. However, if it is false, the program stops and throws an error. So that is known as the assertion in Python. So it is also a debugging tool as it brings the program on halt as soon as any error is occurred and shows on which point of the program the error has occurred. So that is the special features of assertion. So previous code is there. Now we are having the assertion condition. If the assertion condition is true, then the program continue to run. If the assertion condition is false, then the assertion stops the program and gives the assertion error and also the respective point where that particular error has occurred. So that will be mentioned in the assertion error, assertion produced error. So for the better clarity, let us go for one practical demonstration. We will be showing you that how this assertion can be implemented in Python.
We know that assertions are statements that assert or state a fact confidently in our program. For example, while writing a division function, you are confident that the divisor should not be 0. In that case, we can insert one assert divisor is not equal to 0 accordingly. So assertions are nothing but simply Boolean expressions that checks if the condition returns true or not. If it is returning true, the program does nothing and move to the next line of code. And if it returns false, the program stops and throws an error known as the assertion error. So as an example, consider this one. We have defined one function. The name of the function is avg, which will take this marks the least as input argument. So assert len marks is not equal to 0. If the condition is true, that means if the length of this list is not equal to 0, that means the list is not empty. If the condition is true, then it will go for this sum of marks by len of the marks. So it will calculate the average and that will be returned. So, but if the length of marks is not equal to 0, if the condition is false, then it will produce the assertion error. So for the first run, we are making one list available which is non-empty and we are trying to calculate the average of them, and we are going for the next one where the list is empty, and let us see what is the outcome we are going to have. So just see, in the first case we are having this 11 plus 22 plus 33 whole by 3, so I'll be reaching with the value 22 here. So average of mark 1 is equal to 22. So average of mark 1 is equal to 22 is getting executed, is getting printed. And now in the second case, we are passing this, we are initializing this mark 1 with the null list that is containing no element. So the length of this mark 1 will be 0. So length of mark 1 is not equal to 0. The condition will be false. So it will produce one error known as the assertion error. So that is known as the assertion error. So not only the throwing the assertion error, also you can put some error message also. So let us go for that. So here you see, if the assert length of the marks is not equal to 0, then list is empty. So when the condition is true, that means the length of marks is not equal to 0, that means the list is not empty. In that case, it will produce true and it will go to the next line without any interruption. Otherwise, the assertion error will be obtained and it will be having this message to get printed. So now let me go for the execution. Mark 2 is not null, it is having some values there, so the average will get calculated. And in case of mark 1, it is a null list, so I think here the assertion error will be thrown. So just see here. So average marks of mark 2 is 78. So 78 is the average marks of marks 2. But in the next one, as the mark 1 was having the empty list, so this particular assertion error has taken place, and here you see the message has got printed that is the list is empty. So there is a message we have given this one. So this giving this message is optional. You may or may not give, as here we have given, and but in the previous example we didn't give any such error message. So I think now that what is assertion in Python, the concept is now getting clear to you. Thanks for watching this video.